But I think one of the things that hands down, Rob and I are not going to disagree on by any stretch of the imagination is one thing that I think Mr. Winger, if he's, if this is an exact representation of what he has said, one of the things that he's going to have to explain is, or maybe even let go of, is the idea that this is about sanctification. One of the common ideas is that the Jerusalem Council is writing to the churches around the northern part, north of Jerusalem, and saying, look, when a Gentile comes into your into your congregation, they don't need to be sanctified in the same way you do. That's not what the rest of Scripture teaches. In fact, it's not what Paul teaches. Let's go to Colossians real quick. In Colossians 3:12, and let's remember that Colossians was probably written in around 60, 61. So this is long after the Jerusalem Council, okay? And let's also remember who it's being written to, okay? Paul says this. He says, put on then, as God's chosen ones, holy and beloved, compassionate hearts, kindness, humility, meekness, and patience, bearing with one another, and if one has a complaint against another, forgiving each other. As the Lord has forgiven you, so you also must forgive. And above all these, put on love, which binds everything together in perfect harmony. Let's see here. Am I too far? I think I am. Give me just a second. I apologize. I went to the wrong passage. I went beyond. That's okay.
It's still a good passage.
It's a great passage. Let's go before that. In 3:7, he says, in these you too, oh no, I'm even earlier than that. I apologize. 3:5, put to death, therefore, what is earthly in you, sexual immorality, impurity, passion, evil desire, and covetousness, which is idolatry. On account of these, the wrath of God is coming. In these you too once walked when you were living in them. But now you must put them all away. Anger, wrath, malice, slander, obscene talk from your mouth. Do not lie to one another, seeing that you have put off the old self with its practices, and have put on the new self, which is being renewed in knowledge after the image of its creator. Here there is not Greek and Jew, circumcised or uncircumcised, barbarian, Scythian, slave, free, but Christ is all and in all. Now let's go back real quick. Remember that in Acts 15, there are 4 regulations according to the Eastern text. There's 4 regulations, and the Western text adds one, but I think it's a good one. But anyway, it's probably not original. Not the point. So there's 4 regulations. But in Colossians 3:8, Paul, who was sitting there at the Jerusalem Council hearing these 4 regulations and agrees to take the letter to these churches, he says that there's way more. You must put away anger, wrath, malice, slander, and obscene talk from your mouth. That wasn't prescribed by the Jerusalem Council. So obviously, Paul doesn't think that there's only 4 things that the Gentiles need to do to be sanctified. So the idea that this passage is talking about sanctification, as Mr. Winger and others, Darrell Bach as well, who I highly respect, but I disagree with on this passage, they have claimed that this is talking about the law of Moses and about sanctification. I'm sorry. This cannot be upheld. And not only that, but if we go then to Acts 21, what happens? People come and they say, look, Paul, people, I'm obviously paraphrasing, Paul, people are saying that you are teaching against circumcision and against the customs of Moses. Now, to show them that there's nothing in these claims, go to the temple and help these men fulfill their vows. What does Paul do? He doesn't say, well, hey, whoa, I've been teaching against circumcision, and I've been telling people they don't have to keep the law of Moses. Didn't you hear the ruling of the Jerusalem Council? Didn't you get the letter that I brought? No, he doesn't say that. He says, okay, and he goes to the temple. So no matter what we have to say is that the idea or the teaching that Acts 15 is somehow associated with sanctification of the Gentiles. In other words, that the Gentiles keep these 4 laws and this is how they're sanctified, or even worse, that this is how they're justified, which Winger and other scholars are not suggesting this. What they are suggesting is that this is about sanctification. And I don't believe this is about sanctification. I don't think that it can be upheld that this is about sanctification. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button and check out more videos from Messiah Matters.